John Lawrence Galipeau.
Mr. Galipeau, I'm gonna ask you to keep that good speaking voice up. The microphone doesn't amplify for the defense or for the jury, it only amplifies for the audience. So we just need to be able to hear you. So speak loud enough for us. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Will you spell your last name for me, please?
Jalip as in Paul, EAU.
Back in the year 2023, where were you employed?
2023, Westville Correctional Facility.
And is that part of the Indiana Department of Corrections?
Yes, sir.
And was Richard Allen a person that was being held at your facility at Westville?
He was.
And where within your facility was he being held?
A pod, A1107.
Was he in a cell by himself?
He was.
And can you give me the dimensions of the cell that he was being held in?
I believe it's 12 by 8.
And how does that size relate to the sizes of cells in that pod?
They're all the same sized cell, sir.
And so he was in the same size cell as other people within that unit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What is the cell referred to as, or does the cell have a name?
The cell he was in was referred to an observation cell.
And why was he in that cell?
Typically, a person would be in an observation cell if they were under any sort of mental health orders or suicide watch.
Did he have a bed in that cell?
Yes, he did.
Did that bed have a mattress?
Yes, it does.
Was that mattress different from the mattresses issued to other individuals within your facility?
No, sir.
Did he have a bed frame for that mattress?
Yes.
And where is that bed frame located?
It was bolted to the floor.
And why was it bolted to the floor?
So a person can't go under the bed if they're on some kind of suicide watch. We have a constant observation.
And was there time when Richard Allen was in your facility, that he was on suicide watch?
Yes, sir.
Was there time that he was in your facility, that he wasn't on suicide watch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was the defendant allowed to shower?
He was.
How many times a week?
I believe 3 times a week.
Is that different than other individuals in your facility?
No, sir.
Did he have a toilet in the cell?
He did.
Was he provided clothing?
He was.
How many sets of clothing?
I believe 3 sets of clothing.
Is that different than other individuals in your facility?
No, sir.
Was he required to wear that clothing while it was soiled or dirty?
No, sir.
Did he have an opportunity to have that clothing cleaned?
3 times a week, sir.
Did he have access to an electronic tablet?
He did, 2 of them.
And what could he do with that electronic tablet, or what capabilities did that tablet have?
He could download some apps, listen to music, order commissary, make phone calls.
Did he have recreational time?
He did.
When did he have recreational time?
I believe Rex offered 5 times a week.
And was that different than other individuals within your facility?
No, sir.
Was he allowed the same amount of rec time as other individuals in your facility?
Yes, sir.
Was he seen by medical personnel on a regular basis?
Daily when he was on suicide watch.
Was he seen by mental health professionals as well?
Yes, sir.
And did the medical personnel and mental health personnel keep you updated on his mental health and his physical well-being?
They did.
Was he afforded face-to-face visits with family members?
I believe on at least 2 occasions he was.
Were other individuals within that unit afforded face-to-face visits?
No, sir.
Was he allowed visits with his attorney?
He was.
During the time he was in that unit, was he observed by the other?
Yes, sir.
And why is that done?
They were suicide companions to document behavior.
And what is the role of a suicide companion?
Just to document behavior.
At some point, was that changed from inmates to correctional officers?
It was.
Tell me why that happened.
I changed them to correctional officers for more privacy when he got his legal mail.
And how often did you observe Richard Allen?
For the first few months, I'd say almost daily, but at least a few times a week.
And when he first came to your facility, what was his behavior like?
He was quiet for the first month or so.
At some point, did his behavior change?
It did.
Can you tell me about that?
It changed the day he got his legal mail. I don't know how many pages it was, but his behavior started becoming erratic the day he got that.
And tell me what you mean by erratic.
Ripping up the legal mail, washing his face in the toilet, defecating in the cell.
And is it at that point that you changed his companions from inmates too?
Correct.
During this time, would you continue to see him on a regular basis?
I saw him a few times weekly.
Would he request for you to come talk to him?
Sometimes he did, yes.
During the time that you observed him, would you ever initiate conversations with him?
No.
During the times that you had conversations with him, what would he say to you?
Sometimes he would confess to what he did, or so many times he would ask for a chaplain, and sometimes he would ask for a Bible. I think he told me his tablet wasn't working, but the conversations were very limited.
The times he would confess to you, Do you know how many times he confessed to you?
At least twice in person and a few notes or requests for interviews that he wrote.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 292. Can you just tell me what that is?
That's a request for interview that I received on March 5th.
Tell me about this is a request for interview form that you've seen before?
Yes.
And this is a form used in your facility?
Correct.
And when is this form used? For what purpose?
Anytime they want to have communication with somebody, whether it be a counselor or myself.
When you say, they, who do you mean?
Counselor, unit team manager, captain, major, deputy wardens, myself, medical.
Do you?
Mental health.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Do you recognize this request for interview form?
I do.
And who is requesting the request for interview form from?
Richard Allen.
And who is it addressed to?
Warden.
And were you the warden?
I was.
Judge, the state would move to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibit 292. State's Exhibit 292 offered.
No objection.
All right. Without objection, 292 is admitted.
And would ask permission of the court to be able.
You may.
You want me to read it?
Not yet.
Oh. You may proceed, Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Galipeau, when did you receive this request for interview?
March 5th, 2023.
And again, you said it's from Richard Allen?
Correct.
And can you read that to the jury, please?
It said, I am ready to officially for confess killing Abby and Libby. I hope I get this opportunity to tell the family sorry.
When you received this request, what did you do?
I gave it to Internal Affairs.
Did you go down and see Mr. Allen?
No.
Were there other times that he admitted to you?
Yes.
Were there times that he had apologized to you for what he had done?
Yes.
Did he give you any other details about what he had done besides, I confess to killing Abby and Libby?
I believe he mentioned something about when he worked at CVS with a box cutter that he had disposed of.
Do you recall how he said he disposed of it?
In a dumpster at CVS.
And did he mention how he used that box cutter, or what he used it for?
No, sir.
During this time, did you have that information that he was also admitting to other people?
I did.
What information did you have?
Just what was on the door sheets.
And what information was that?
Judge, I'm gonna object to no first-hand knowledge and hearsay.
Hearsay.
I'll move on, Judge. It's fine.
Sustained.
Thank you.
After he made these admissions, was he treated any differently by your facility?
No, sir.
Was he still given the same treatment in terms of recreational time and shower time?
Yes, sir.
Was he still given the same tablet access?
He was.
Were you able to observe Richard Allen while he was at your facility?
Yes, sir.
And is Richard Allen here in the courtroom today?
He is.
Can you describe what he's wearing, please?
Looks like khakis and a flannel-type shirt.
Is he sitting to my right, your left?
My right.
Oh yes, both rights, sorry. Judge, will you let the record reflect that the witness identified Richard Allen?
The record will so reflect.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Rozzi.
Nice seeing you again, Warden.
Nice seeing you.
So Westville Correctional Facility. Let me ask you this first. You were the warden at Westville back in November of 2022, when Mr. Allen showed up at the doorstep, right?
I believe it was October, yes.
October, late October/early November, we on the same page?
Right.
And so you were running the facility, right?
Correct.
The buck stopped with you, so to speak?
Hope so.
All right. And he landed at your facility as the result of a safekeeping order that was issued by a judge in this county, right?
Correct.
And that safekeeping order was an order that you were familiar with generally. You understood what a safekeeping order was?
Correct.
And in this particular case, that safekeeping order resulted in the DOC essentially taking custody of Mr. Allen while his case was pending, right?
Yes, sir.
As opposed to you being in charge of somebody who's already been convicted?
Correct.
Big difference, right?
Sure.
And your primary job as the warden of the prison where the safekeeper, Mr. Allen, was located was to ensure his safety and secure it while he was awaiting trial?
Correct.
And to the extent that didn't happen, falls on you, right?
Correct.
And Westville Correctional Facility is a medium security facility, right?
Minimum to maximum.
Okay, that's technically how it's classified, at least by the state, right?
Sure.
And in that facility, what did you tell me? Maybe 2,000 or 3,000 offenders in total.
About 3,000.
Okay, and those offenders in that facility have various types of felony convictions, right?
Correct.
Murder?
Sure.
Rape?
Yes.
Arson?
Yes.
Robbery?
Yes.
We could go through the whole list, right?
Yes, we could.
The worst of the worst, right?
All convicted, yes.
Okay, and that facility actually has a maximum security unit within the medium/max prison?
Correct.
And we've talked about that with different acronyms, but I think you called it MCC.
Correct.
I've referred to it as the WCU. Is that the same?
Same thing.
Okay, and there's a couple of those maximum security units around the state, right?
Correct.
One of those is down in Wabash Valley.
Correct.
And one of them I think is in Pendleton.
Yes.
And then, of course, was there one in Miami County, too, maybe?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, and then up at Westville?
Correct.
All right, and you would generally agree with me that Westville's quite an outdated facility at this point?
Judge, I'm gonna object to relevance.
It goes to the environmental conditions at the prison, which he was responsible for, pursuant to the safekeeping order.
Well, let's limit it to that time frame, then.
Yeah, well,
The maximum security building was built, I believe, in 1996, making it one of the newest facilities in the Department of Correction.
okay, but that facility is going to be out of use here in a few months, isn't it?
The general population side of the facility, yeah, in a few years probably.
They're shutting it down, and they're building a brand new prison re-GHD next to it.
Right.
Okay, and those conditions there are just no longer suitable for housing offenders in general, are they?
They're suitable.
Okay. May I approach, Judge?
You may.
I'm going to hand you what I've marked as Defendant's Exhibit QQ. Just take a look at that, if you would, and I'll ask a few questions about it. Let me know when you're through with that.
I'm fine, sir.
Did you get a chance to look at it?
Yes.
Okay. Does that look like an overhead view of Westville Correctional Facility?
It does.
And just to kind of orient here, would you agree with me that that view at the top of the image there is basically the existing facility, and then kind of the bottom half would be the new facility that's being constructed?
It looks like it, yes.
Okay. Does it generally mimic the conditions that you're familiar with up at Westville?
It does.
I'd move to admit QQ. Defendant's Exhibit QQ offered.
I don't see the relevance, Judge, but I have no objection.
Okay. Without objection, then, QQ is admitted. Defendant's Exhibit QQ admitted.
Thank you. May I publish, Judge?
You may. Defendant's Exhibit QQ published. You may proceed, Mr. Rossi.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Galipeau, just to kind of orient the jury about the location where Mr. Allen was housed, would you agree with me that, basically, this top half here is the existing Westville Correctional Facility?
Yes, sir.
I would blow this up if I could. I'm sorry. This is the best we could do with the technology.
It's okay.
Can you see it okay?
I can.
Do you want me to give you this?
No, I'm good, I can see it.
And do you generally agree with me that if you were going to get into this prison, you were kind of coming into the administration building here at the top left?
Correct.
You go through some metal detectors and a razor wire fence right in this area, right?
Right.
And then, basically, if I recall from being up there, once you get inside the facility here, you got to go to the backgrounds, which is the WCU unit or the maximum security unit.
That is correct.
So it's this kind of pod up here on the top of the screen that has the 5 different, I don't know if those are octagons, or whatever shape those are, right?
For pods, yes.
But before you get into that, this particular area, there's actually another razor wire fence that you've got to go through. 2 fences, I think, maybe.
Correct.
And then you're, essentially, at the doorstep of the WCC, and then you got to get inside, which is, obviously, secure, right?
Correct.
So it's kind of a prison within a prison. Is that a fair way of describing it?
It used to be.
And that unit, the WCCU, or WCU I should say, is the most secure unit in the state of Indiana.
It's one of them.
One of 3, right?
Yes.
We've talked about the other 2, one in Pendleton and one in Wabash Valley.
Sure.
You don't get any more secure than that.
It's secure.
Really secure?
It's pretty good.
Okay, and most of the felons, if not the majority of them that are in there for conduct violations, aren't they?
Majority, yes.
It's a place where people go, where you sent people in the DOC to be punished if they do things wrong, isn't it?
I wouldn't say punished, but yes, they're convicted.
Okay, and we've talked about this kind of recently. I suggested to you that they refer to this as the hole, and you said, yeah, in the Hollywood movies they do, right?
I don't recall that.
Okay, you don't recall us talking about that?
No.
Do you want me to refresh your memory, or do you believe that that's true?
I mean, we can. I'm not denying it, I said I don't remember it.
Okay, alright. And if someone breaks the rules in that facility, the WCU or the MCC facility, you're out of options, like that's the only place you can send.
Yes. We're not out of options, but it's the only, we can transfer them.
To another secure facility just like it?
Sure.
Okay, and you said earlier when Mr. McClellan was questioning you, you have a few cells in there that you use for suicide watch. Is that right?
4 of them.
So there's, just to help the jury here, there's 4 pods in there. A pod is where A1107 is, where Rick stayed, right?
Correct.
And then there's B pod, C pod, and D pod?
Correct.
Okay, and so each of those pods, if I recall, have about 50 to 60 units or cells in them.
55.
Okay, and there's one designated pod in each unit, which is a suicide pod?
1 designated cell.
Suicide cell.
In each pod, yes.
Suicide cell. And that's, Rick was in the A pod suicide cell?
Correct.
Okay, and when you put, in a normal circumstance, when you place an offender in one of those suicide cells, they're typically in there for very short periods of time.
Correct.
You told me maybe a day or up to a week.
Possibly, yes.
But for the most part, the other 54 cells are used for punishment, to house people that are dangerous?
Used to segregate them, correct.
Okay, because they've committed violations in the prison system.
Yes, sir.
In general population? And the only difference in terms of the inside of the cell, as I understand it, between the other 54 cells in this pod and the suicide cell is the bed?
And the camera.
Okay, yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. That's pretty important. The bed in the suicide cell, as you said, is bolted to the floor, the bed frame.
Correct.
Okay, we'll see it on the video at some point. But you mentioned that the mattresses are all the same as they are in the other 54 units, right?
Correct.
They're 4 or 5 inch thick little mattresses, right?
Assuming, yeah. I don't know the thickness of it, but yeah.
But in this case, Rick Allen's bed was, or mattress was laid on top of a metal slab that's bolted in the floor.
Correct.
A couple inches off the floor?
Yes.
It's basically on the floor, right?
Well, it's a couple inches off the floor, yes.
Okay, now, you've been in the DOC, as I understand it, you were in the DOC, I correct myself, when we last spoke, for about 28 years?
Yes.
And you were the warden at Westville for 5 years leading up to Rick's detention?
Correct.
And you're not aware of any other circumstance where someone who was a presumed innocent detainee was held in solitary confinement in that prison, are you?
Not that I had, no.
And he was held there for over a year, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
13 months.
Correct.
And you're not aware of any other unit in the state similar to that where a pretrial detainee was housed like Mr. Allen, are you?
Not that I'm aware of.
But you applied all the same rules with Rick as you applied with these other offenders?
Correct.
You made that perfectly clear earlier, right?
Yes, sir.
Equal treatment.
Yes, sir.
But all those other people had been convicted of crimes, hadn't they?
That is correct.
Heinous crimes.
Judge, this has been asked and answered.
Sustained.
I'll withdraw. We talked about suicide watch. Do you remember that?
I do.
You said Rick was on suicide watch during a part of his stay.
Most of his stay.
Okay, and in fact, when he got there, when he showed up, he was on suicide watch immediately, wasn't he?
He came to us on suicide watch.
And there was nothing. There was no information that suggested he was a threat to himself, was there?
I'm unaware of the mental health notes.
Okay, well, would you defer to his psychologist, Dr. Walla, in that regard? Would she be in a better position to make those calls?
She would.
Okay, but he was placed on suicide watch immediately?
Correct. He came on suicide watch.
I'm sorry.
He came to us on suicide watch from another psychologist.
Do you know where he came from?
I don't.
You ever bother to look at his chart to see where he came from?
I haven't.
You ever bother to look at his chart to see anything about his history?
No, sir.
Like, hey, has this guy ever been to a prison before?
I don't look at histories, sir. We have 3,000 inmates, I don't look at histories.
Well, but this guy was different, right?
Didn't even know him.
Okay, but he was a safekeeper.
Correct.
And you've never heard of a safekeeper being in that pod in 28 years, right?
Not in that pod, no, sir.
But you didn't think, hey, I'm gonna go look at his file, because this is a little unusual?
No, sir.
Okay, so he gets placed on suicide watch, and you put him in a cell with his bed 4 inches, 2 to 4 inches from the floor, and a camera, right?
Correct.
Judge, objection, asked and answered. We've covered this already.
Sustained.
There a camera in the room?
Yes, there is.
Judge, objection again. That's been asked and answered. We've already covered this.
Sustained.
Tell the jury where the camera's located.
It's located on the ceiling, I believe on the right-hand side up top, out of reach.
24 hours a day he's on film, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's no privacy in that cell whatsoever, is there?
Not a lot.
There's a door with a window, right?
Correct.
A metal door?
Yes, sir.
And there's a video camera, as you mentioned. There's a toilet in that cell?
There is.
8 by 12, right?
12 by 8, yes.
Okay. In fact, you told me it might be 8.5 by 12.5.
It was close.
Little detail, right?
Yep.
And the lights are on in there, right?
I mean, he has access to dim the lights.
Okay, but there are lights on in there because it's a suicide cell, right?
Oh, there are, yeah.
Okay, and you told me at one point that his window was damaged, right? The window to the outside.
Damaged and replaced.
And if I'm not mistaken, that window's just kind of a narrow slat, right? In the wall.
I guess I'm gonna object to this. The relevance of the size of the window.
Conditions in his cell, environmental conditions.
Overruled.
You agree with me?
I agree it's a narrow window, yes.
And outside of that window, he's just looking at a razor wire fence, right?
I suppose, yes, sir.
Okay, now, the toilet in his room is next to his bed, correct?
It's to the right of it, yes.
A couple feet from his head where he would lay, right?
Yes, sir.
Steel toilet?
A what toilet?
Steel toilet?
Yes.
Concrete cell?
Yes.
Metal door?
Yes.
Now, to contrast that, there's another side to this prison, which is the general population, right?
Yes.
And in the general population, well, let me back up. Would you agree with me that, in the WCU, these inmates cannot have any contact with other inmates outside of their cell?
I mean, they can vocalize.
Right. They yell at each other through the doors.
Sure.
But they're not allowed to have any interaction with other inmates?
Not physically, no.
So Mr. Allen, for 13 months, was isolated basically in a space of his own?
Yes, sir.
No social interaction?
Well, no physical interaction.
Okay, well, so the social interaction is them yelling?
Sure.
Now, in general population, the inmates can have contact with each other.
Yes.
Right? To compare and contrast Mr. Allen's circumstances.
In general population, there's typical, I'd say average-sized dormitory. It's probably 80 inmates in an open-style, military-style barracks, so sometimes they have too much contact.
Okay, they can sit down and talk to each other?
Yes.
Play cards?
Yes.
Watch TV together?
Well, they can.
Okay, they're able to move about freely?
Most of the time.
And they go to the bathroom in a separate room, right?
Correct.
They get to eat their meals together?
Yes.
Rick Allen got to eat through a hole in his door, didn't he?
Well, it was delivered through the hole in his door, but he...
It's called a cuff port, right?
Correct.
It's a little slit in the door where they stick the food in?
Correct.
And then, he gets to take that food and sit on the ground and eat on his bed, doesn't he?
He can sit on his bed, yes.
Got no table in there, does he?
No.
I think at one point there might have been a cardboard box in there.
For his TV.
Okay, and there's no desk in there?
No.
No chair in there?
No.
When the inmates in general population move around, they're not shackled or restrained, are they?
Not unless they're in restrictive setting.
Okay, but if they're in the general population in the dorm setting?
No.
They move freely, right? Correct?
Move around the dorm freely, yes.
Okay, now, you mentioned earlier that Rick got rec, right?
He did.
And I think you told me that you thought it was 4 days a week. Earlier, you testified I think 5.
I believe it's 5. Lockdowns are Tuesdays and Sundays, I believe, so I believe 5.
A couple days there, they're locked down altogether, right?
Tuesdays.
Okay, maybe Thursdays as well?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Possibly though.
But when the inmates in general population have rec, they get to go outside, don't they?
Depending on the weather, yes.
May I approach the TV here?
You may.
Just to orient the jury, at the top of this exhibit, let's just start at the top here, on the top left quadrant. When you come into the facility, on the left you see this large structure right here.
I do.
Okay, and next to it, is this a big yard or field?
Correct.
Is that a rec yard?
No.
Is there a basketball court there?
Inside of our dorm, there is.
Okay, well, in this green space here to the left, looks like a concrete slab or this colored slab.
Maybe there is. There's a slab out there for our dorms, our level 1 offenders.
Okay.
It's hard to see.
Okay, when they go out to rec, right?
Correct.
Did Rick Allen ever get to go out to there and go to rec?
No.
Now, down here, as you come into the right, there's another green space. You see this just on the right here?
I do.
Is that another rec area?
No.
Okay, what is that?
I believe it's just a grass field. There's no tower there.
Okay, and then, moving kind of around to the bottom here, kind of the bottom top half of the photo here, there's another dorm, right?
It looks like our, inaudible, dorm.
Okay, and they've got a rec yard over here, just off the northeast corner of that?
It's not used no more. It's an old rec yard.
It ever was.
Years ago.
Rick Allen didn't get to use any of that space, right?
No.
And then, down here on the bottom right, as we move around, there's a baseball diamond here, right?
Looks like it.
And that's a rec area?
Yes, sir.
Did Rick Allen get to use that space?
No.
Then, moving up here, there's another large grass area. Is that another rec area?
I believe it's just a large grass area.
It looks like it might have a little bit of a track around it, or walkways.
I don't recall a rec area outside there, no.
Rick Allen get to use any of that?
No.
Then moving up, there's another ball diamond, right?
That's the GSE.
Okay, and rec area where these offenders go?
Correct.
Rick Allen get to use any of that?
No.
What about this green spot here, just below the WCU? Is that a rec area?
I don't believe so, no.
Rick Allen's rec area was right here in this little quadrant here at the WCU, right?
Correct.
And in fact, he got to go to rec in a room that was about 10 by 15, didn't he?
I don't know the dimension of the room. There's indoor and outdoor rec and...
Okay.
And so?
Do you recall telling me that one of the rooms, the rec room he was in, was 10 by 15?
I'm sure that's accurate.
I'm sorry.
That's probably outside rec. The inside recs.
You think that's accurate?
Probably.
Okay, and when you say outside rec, there's still a roof over this facility, isn't there?
Outside rec there's a screen, so you can get fresh air.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a cage, right?
I mean, it's an outdoor rec area.
Okay, well, there's walls on all the sides except, well, walls on all the sides, isn't there?
It's a prison.
I understand it's a prison.
Yes.
A place where you put people who are convicted of crimes.
Potentially.
Is that it?
Potentially.
Okay.
Or safekeepers.
For walls, right?
Correct.
And a screen over it?
Correct.
Is it fair for me to call that a cage?
I mean, I refer to a rec area.
Indoor rec?
Correct.
How big's that space?
I'm not sure. It's probably double the size of the outdoor rec.
Okay, and it's right there in the WCU, right?
Correct.
So he just, basically, comes out of his cell and walks down the hallway?
That is correct.
And in neither one of those do they get to socialize with anybody, right?
Not physically.
Okay, there's a pull-up bar I think you said in one of those rec rooms?
There's a pull-up bar, the outdoors got a basketball net, and I believe the indoor rec we put ellipticals in there, as well.
Okay, and he gets to go in there about 4 or 5 hours a week.
Correct, if he chooses.
That's if he's not on suicide watch.
Correct.
Because when you're on suicide watch, you get your rec restricted, don't you?
Most of the time, yes.
And there's no card games to be played by him, is there?
No.
No board games, right?
No.
He's not even allowed to have playing cards in his cell, is it?
There's games on the tablet.
But not playing cards?
Correct.
You said he got some movies on his tablet, right?
He could.
He's got to pay for those.
Yes, sir.
Music, you got to pay for that.
Correct.
He gets some phone calls.
He does.
In that cell, right?
Yes.
And those are recorded, aren't they?
Not to attorneys.
Well, but the other calls are.
Yes.
He can't talk to his wife in private, can he?
They're recorded.
Right. GTL is the company that does that for you?
Correct.
And so he also has a tablet that he can send messages on, right?
I believe so, yes.
Those are monitored, as well, aren't they?
Yes.
No privacy there.
Limited.
And there were times when he didn't have a tablet, weren't there?
When he broke his, yes.
And you said he could have been without a tablet for a month or more on occasion in there.
He could have.
And in fact, at one point, GTL was really behind on the tablets, weren't they?
For the general pop, they were.
Yeah, and I understand you said that. When he broke the first one, or it broke, you gave him one right away to replace, didn't you?
Pretty quick, yes.
But that was early on, wasn't it?
That was after he broke his tablet.
Okay, but there were other times where he went without a tablet because of his backlog?
No.
Okay, the mental health order. When he was on the mental health order, would he also be monitored when he went and took a shower?
Yes.
And so you said earlier that the rec time when he was on suicide was reduced, right?
Correct.
And basically because he's under constant observation, correct?
And in a kimono gown.
Okay, I was just going to get to that. I appreciate you transitioning for me.
You're welcome.
One of the real differences when you're on suicide watch is that your clothing circumstances change too, doesn't it?
Depending on what level. On constant, yes.
The level he was on, it changed, didn't it?
He was on constant.
And constant observation, right?
Correct.
And so when you're on constant observation, you don't get your regular prison clothes, do you?
That is correct.
You guys issue a kimono, or a smock is what they call it.
Yes, sir.
And, basically, it's just a gown that goes over the top of the person, the inmate, right?
It's a gown and, yeah, it covers from the shoulders to below his knees.
And it's got some straps on the side that you kind of hook together, is that right?
I believe so.
Okay, and so when someone's on suicide watch, their restrictions actually tighten up, don't they?
Yes.
You have less of everything?
You do.
Now, you mentioned visitation, you thought Rick got 2 visits, right?
At least 2 that I recall.
And you recall one of those visits at least that we were there, Mr. Baldwin and I?
On several, yeah, yes, 2 or 3.
Okay, well, let me clarify. There was a visitation that occurred with Mr. Allen's family, right?
I believe 2.
That was his wife?
Correct.
Okay, and that happened in a different building within Westville, right?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Baldwin and I were there?
Yes.
He was transported down there by several guards?
Correct.
And he was fully shackled, right?
Until he got there.
We've talked about this before, haven't we?
We have.
Handcuffs?
During transport, yes.
Like shackles?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'll object. This has been asked and answered. He said he was fully shackled.
Sustained.
Well, we haven't talked about the nature of the restraints.
Sustained.
Tell the jury what restraints he had on him.
Judge, again I'm gonna object. It's been asked and answered. He said he was fully shackled.
Sustained.
I think that we're entitled to tell them what that means.
That's not what you asked.
I asked him to explain to the jury how he was restrained.
That's the question.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
That is not the question that you asked.
Would you explain to the jury what restrained means in this circumstance?
Sure. They're restrained with hand restraints and leg irons and a transportation lead.
Hand restraints, leg irons?
And a transportation lead.
Okay, is there a belly chain also?
Yes.
That's part of that?
Yes.
Okay, and then, with those hand restraints, is there a box that goes over them?
Yes.
Further secures them?
So you can't tamper with it, correct?
Okay, and you said a lead?
A lead.
And how have I referred to that in the past?
I refer to it as a lead.
What did I say?
I believe you said a dog leash.
Very similar though, isn't it?
No.
Okay, it's a nylon, strap with a hook on the end, isn't it?
Judge, I'm gonna object. This has been asked and answered.
Sustained.
And so that visit, you had guards stand by him while he was visiting with his wife, didn't you?
Correct.
We've talked about this before. They were a couple feet away from him during the visit. He was on constant watch, right?
He was.
And there's no privacy in any of that, was there?
He had a visit.
There wasn't any privacy, was there?
I mean, all visits are recorded.
All right.
General Pop, too.
And you said if he stood up during that visit, the visit would be terminated, right?
With anybody.
Yep, he was treated just like everybody else.
Better.
Okay, no food or snacks during the visit.
Not for anybody.
If he'd have went to the bathroom, his visit would have been terminated?
That's policy.
No water for him.
Correct.
Water would terminate his visit?
Correct.
No water for his wife.
Correct.
Had to terminate the visit if that happened, right?
Correct.
Water fountain right next to him the whole time, wasn't there?
Yes, sir.
Bunch of vending machines right behind us?
Correct.
Phone calls. So you said earlier those PH1 calls are monitored unless they're attorney calls, you said, right?
Correct.
How do they determine which ones are attorney calls and which ones aren't?
I think he flags them as attorneys.
Do you know that?
Do I know that?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you're just guessing, right?
I'm not guessing. I mean, attorney calls aren't recorded. I don't know how he did it, but no, that's not a guess.
Is there any form of communication from that cell to the outside world, other than those attorney calls, that's not monitored?
Is there any sort of communication? Mail.
From inside Richard Allen's cell to the outside world, other than where he may flag us.
Mail.
That's not monitored?
Mail.
You don't monitor the mail?
They scan it.
Well, we took some discovery up there in March, didn't we?
I don't recall.
You didn't know that?
Know what?
That we took a box of discovery up there to give him.
Okay.
And it took 2 weeks for them to get it to him, because they had to sort through the box. Did you know that?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I just recall the legal mail coming in.
They actually take the documents that get sent to these people, and they check the documents for trace evidence of drugs, don't they?
Not on his circumstance. The legal mail was sent in and I believe it was roughly 400 to 500 pages. I asked, cause we copy all legal mail. I asked if the legal mail was to be copied and they said, no, just give him the originals, so that's what I did. So his legal mail was not copied.
Okay, and it took some time to get through that process, didn't it?
Excuse me?
It took some time to get through all that process, didn't it?
It was a lot of pages.
We even had restrictions when we went to visit him, didn't we?
Of course.
At first, we were allowed to take our phones in there, right?
Judge, I'm gonna object.
Correct.
None of this is relevant.
Judge, it's all relevant because it goes. It has a tendency to prove that the conditions that this man endured for 13 months impacted his mental health.
How is whether you can bring in a phone relevant to that specific issue?
It's relevant because it impacted our ability to communicate with him and represent him in an effective way.
Sustained.
Thank you. The rules changed when we were coming up there, didn't they?
Judge, I'm gonna object again. I don't know what the relevance of this is.
I'll move on.
Thank you.
You taped Richard Allen's meeting with his lawyers, didn't you?
I had them taped, yes.
Okay, you had a camcorder up there at the prison, right?
Yes.
And when we met with him, you had an officer holding that camcorder, taping our visits with him from outside the room.
Unfortunately, yes.
All right, you took us in a specific room and you made him sit in a specific chair, didn't you?
Yes. We made a visitation room for him.
Facing the camera?
Correct.
Camera focused on him at all times while we were talking to him about his case.
Judge, objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Let's talk about the use of force. That's something that occurs from time to time in the WCU, doesn't it?
Everywhere in prison, unfortunately.
Okay, and there was never a time when Rick was any meaningful threat to any of your staff, was there?
I don't clarify the meaningful threat.
Where he was a threat to their physical safety.
Well, if you don't follow orders, you can be a threat, yes.
Okay, but there was never a time when Rick exhibited any of those behaviors, was there?
Yes, there was.
Okay, well, when was it?
I believe it was twice we had to use force on him, ironically, both after attorney visits.
Okay.
When he refused to take his hands out of the cuff port.
Yeah, he was inside of his 8x12 cell?
Correct.
With the door locked?
Correct.
And he wouldn't move his hands from the cuff port, right?
So we could not secure the door, correct.
Right, so you give him a little zap of electricity twice, didn't you?
After several times to tell him to put his hands back in.
A real threat, wasn't it?
Non-compliant, yes.
Because if you're non-compliant enough, that's how you get treated, isn't it?
The cuff ports need to be closed for safety reasons, yes.
He was treated just like all the other convicted felons, wasn't it?
He was treated better.
Now, Mr. McClellan asked you about these people these inmates that would sit at his door. You're familiar with that program?
Yes.
Call them companions, right?
Suicide companions, yes.
It's part of some program at the prison where people can participate and get some credit for it, right?
I don't know about credit, but they get paid for it, yes.
Okay, and so there's some incentive for these inmates to be part of this companion program?
Sure.
And, basically, the companion is required to sit at the door of whatever or.
They do what?
They do shifts, right?
Yes.
And they're given a pen and some paper?
Correct.
And they're basically asked to make observations and document those in writing?
Correct.
Pretty much everything that the offender's doing in that cell, they document it?
Correct.
What he's saying?
Yes.
How he's acting?
Yes.
And the times that those things are going on, right?
Yes.
Could be as frequent as every 5 minutes you might report on somebody's behaviors?
Yes.
And that was the case here?
Correct.
And these companions, unfortunately, are convicted felons, right?
They are.
And some of them are convicted of crimes of dishonesty?
I assume so.
And at some point, you testified earlier, you pulled the companions, didn't you?
I did.
The rules of the companions, the companion program rules, prohibit them from actually talking with the offenders, don't they?
Well, we'd hope that happens.
But they're not supposed to talk to them, right?
They're not counselors, no.
All right. And they're certainly not supposed to take anything that goes on, any information that they obtain from their companionship, and communicate that to anybody else, are they?
We would hope not.
But that happened here, didn't it?
I'm sure it did.
You had some britches, didn't you?
Judge, I'm gonna object to the relevance of this.
Yeah, the relevance is that there was a safekeeping order in place. He was responsible for carrying that out to ensure his safety and security, and that was breached by these companions, who spread this information all over.
Overruled.
That's what happened, didn't it?
Judge, I'm gonna object again. Unless Mr. Rossi can prove how this somehow affected Mr. Allen's safekeeping, or his mental health, or had any, or that even Mr. Allen knew about that, I don't see how this is relevant.
Sustained.
You had problems with the companions, didn't you?
Not really, no.
Well, you removed them, didn't you?
I removed them when he got his legal mail for his protection.
Well, let's talk about that.
And privacy.
You don't have any idea what was in that legal mail, do you?
Nor did I want to.
All right. You don't even know what he read, do you?
No.
Okay. You just know he got legal mail, and it happened to be around the same time that you were talking about these other things.
The same day.
April 3rd, right?
I don't know, it was the same day though.
Some of those companions documented behaviors on the log sheets?
Correct.
And those log sheets are then directed. There's a process for those log sheets getting to the administration, right?
Getting to mental health, yes.
They don't just take them back to their cells, is my point with them.
No.
And that's what happened in this case. They were all funneled to mental health?
Yes.
And those records, ultimately, were turned over to the state, weren't they?
Correct.
Now, the guards that you had replaced these companions with guards at one point, correct?
Yes.
And those guards don't have any formal mental health training, do they?
No.
And you mentioned earlier there was reference to this 292, this letter, Exhibit 292, this letter that was directed to you, right?
Yes.
And this letter came about the time he got his legal mail, didn't it?
I don't recall, I put a date on the letter.
Okay.
I believe it was March.
Okay. It was about the time he started acting up, right?
Fair enough.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
When it started getting pretty bad in the cell.
He started making it pretty bad, yes.
Okay. Well, the feces, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Is there any other? Did you generate any other document? Well, strike that. Did you generate a report that reflects your receipt of this letter?
I believe I turned over a few to internal affairs, I'm not sure when.
So you think you prepared a report or you're not sure?
Did I prepare a report?
Yeah, a report.
No, I was just, if I got a request from him, we gotta turn it over. I don't know what you mean by prepare a report.
Well, you didn't generate any kind of an incident report that, hey, I got a letter from Rick Allen.
No.
Anything like that?
No. It's very common to get those.
And you said that there are other times where he said things to you that were incriminating.
Yes.
You didn't prepare any reports with regard to any of those, either, did you?
No.
There's not any documentation other than your word here today that those things occurred, are there?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
I'm sorry.
Sustained.
No reports, right?
Again, Judge, the objection was asked and answered.
Sustained.
He started engaging in these bizarre behaviors in April, right? 2022, or 2023.
I don't remember the exact date, but I remember when they occurred, yes.
That sound about right?
Sounds about right.
Now, these statements that we were talking about a minute ago, most of these occurred at his cell door, right?
Correct.
And I think you told me that the only real proof of those existing, other than you testifying, is things that other inmates or guards may have written in their log sheets.
Correct.
And, at some point, you told me, well, strike that. Have you ever read a log sheet where someone was recording incriminating statements from an inmate?
No, I typically wouldn't get log sheets.
Well, this was a first.
Yes.
Law enforcement was coming up to the prison and meeting with your guards while this was going on, weren't they?
I don't recall.
Do you ever remember a situation where law enforcement was interested in what someone was doing, an inmate at the prison?
That had to do with Mr. Allen?
Yeah.
I don't recall, no.
Or any other inmates in his situation.
We've had law enforcement come in and talk to staff for various reasons, but I don't remember any law enforcement talking to staff for Richard Allen reasons.
But you told me that you don't recall any situation where law enforcement had come up there because someone was confessing to something, right?
Say that again.
You told me that you didn't recall a situation in the past.
And I still don't.
Where law enforcement was coming up there because somebody was confessing to something.
Correct.
In terms of his overall state of mental health while at the DOC, especially Westville, you would have to refer to his psychologist, wouldn't you?
What do you mean refer to him?
Ms. Walla. Dr. Walla would be in a better position to have an opinion about his mental health status.
Oh, sure.
You never talked to the Carroll County Sheriff about Mr. Allen's circumstances at that prison while he was there?
Not that I recall.
No one from the sheriff's office never came up to check on him?
Not that I recall.
Now, at some point, after 13 months, Rick was moved, right?
Yes.
To Wabash Valley.
Yes.
And you knew that we were trying to get him out of there, didn't you?
Yes.
We've been here in court over it twice, haven't we?
3 times.
Okay, and finally, that happened, didn't it?
It did.
I'll object to this line of questioning. I don't see what the relevance of this, whether or not his attorneys were able to get him moved. I don't see the relevance in that.
Sustained.
So he was moved, and it wasn't your choice, right?
It wasn't my choice, no.
In December of 2023, he just was gone one night, right?
He moved.
And you were on his MDT team, weren't you?
A what team?
The MDT team or the medical team?
I would pop in, yeah.
Okay, it's basically a team of 4 or 5 administrators and doctors that make decisions about inmates, right?
I mean, correct. I'm not.
And Rick had a team?
I'm not assigned to that team.
You're not.
No. I'd pop in, but, on occasion, but I'm not assigned to that team.
You didn't know anything about why he got moved to Wabash Valley, right?
No.
Even though you were the warden?
That's right.
You said basically it all happened over an email, didn't it?
I'm not sure how it happened, but Westville moves, you know, a lot of inmates.
Did you ever?
Every day.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said we move a lot of inmates every day.
Did you ever follow up and get an explanation for why he was, all of a sudden gone?
I wasn't curious to.
Life in prison can be pretty tough on people, can it?
It's an adjustment.
Especially on one's mental health?
Correct.
And detaining somebody in the super secure unit like the WCU can be tougher, can it?
It's an adjustment.
Major adjustment, right?
Objection, again, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Especially for someone who has never been to prison before, right?
I don't know his history, but it's an adjustment, yes.
Did you ever review any of the in-cell video in Mr. Allen's cell?
I have.
Okay, when did you do that?
Why would I do that?
When did you do that?
I'm not sure. When an incident occurred in his cell, I would review it.
Okay, you don't work for the DOC anymore, do you?
Correct.
You got fired, didn't you?
I got let go.
Objection. This is outside the scope of direct.
Sustained.
Judge, may I?
It's outside scope of direct.
You were responsible for his safekeeping, weren't you?
Yes.
And that responsibility, you breached that responsibility, haven't you?
I have breached that.
Yes.
How so, sir?
By neglecting your duties.
I did not neglect my duties.
Okay, well, I asked you what happened to you, and you weren't honest with me, were you?
About what?
About your transfer.
What about my transfer?
You said you were laterally transferred to the girls' school, weren't you?
Judge, I'm gonna object to this line of questions. It's well outside the scope of direct.
It's outside the scope.
Judge, 607. I'm entitled to impeach this witness through Rule 607. Bias, prejudice, his motive to misrepresent is all in question under Rule 607, and it's the state's, or it's the defense's position that he has a motive to misrepresent the truth because it goes directly to his violating the safekeeping order, which he was responsible for, and it impacted that man's safety and security, and that's why it's relevant.
The objection was that it's outside the scope of direct.
Well, I think it's relevant because I understand that's his objection, but it's not a proper objection. IT's relevant because he talked about the safekeeping order and how the buck stops with him.
I appreciate that, but I'm the one that decides if it's outside the scope, and it is outside the scope of direct.
Thank you.
Which is why I've sustained the objection.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Galipeau, maybe an unfair question, but do you know about what time or what day he got when he first received legal mail?
I don't. I want to say it was in the spring, maybe in March or April possibly.
Now, you said that Mr. Richard Allen was on suicide watch. Is that correct?
Correct.
During the time he was with you, why did you place him on, or why was he placed on suicide watch?
Dr. Walla put him on suicide watch for a conversation that they've had that was private to me, so typically I wouldn't be involved in those decisions, would just follow the orders.
And those were coming from his mental health provider?
Correct.
And in general, why is someone placed on suicide watch? What is the point of that?
To keep them safe.
Mr. Rossi talked about taping the attorney visits. When attorneys come to visit individuals at your facility, are all those meetings taped?
They are.
Are the audio portions, is there audio to those tapes?
No.
And then lastly on the door sheets, those are something used by the mental health providers. Is that correct?
Yes. The door sheets go to the mental health provider, so you can get updates and feedback.
I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Mr. Rossi.
Earlier, you said he came in on suicide watch, and now you're saying Dr. Walla put him on suicide watch.
He came in on a different suicide order. Once we got him, we referred him, within 7 hours, and he was continued on suicide watch.
And within your facility, the majority of time he was in there, he was upon suicide watch, right?
For a lengthy period, yes.
Which meant he had less privileges than all the others.
Correct.
And Mr. M. Cleland asked you about the attorney visits being taped, and you said all visits are taped, right?
Correct.
Now, when the other attorneys come in, they go into a little room there when they walk in the door and they meet with the inmates or the clients in a room, like an attorney room with a window, glass, right?
What facility are you talking about?
At the WCU.
You're the only attorney I've ever seen in there.
Oh, so there, all the other attorney visits didn't occur?
No, I've never seen an attorney in there.
Okay, alright. And when 2 lawyers did show up, put a video camera on us and sat there and watched us visit with our client, didn't you?
Because that room doesn't have a camera. If it was in general population, those rooms are full of cameras.
You also sat inmates at the door when we were meeting, or other guards at the door when we were meeting with our clients, didn't you?
Well, you can't do constant watch, sir.
Alright, no privacy is there?
Not when you're on suicide watch.
I have nothing further.
Does anybody on the jury have any questions for Mr. Galipeau?
No response or indication from any juror.
No? All right. Thank you, Mr. Galipeau. You may